Good afternoon, good evening to some, and to some others, go fuck yourself. I'm back, like cook crack, and I'm laid back smoking some fucking good grass. Gonna do a hitter prop video, and I am blessed today to have a special guest with me. He is a guru. He is a beast. Let's fucking welcome to the show the K Guru, the K Prop Guru, the Master Harpooner, Sharpie.
I fuck BBWs.
Sharpie, you sick son of a bitch. Welcome to the show. Great to have you. No shirt and everything. Don't be intimidated, people. But he'll fucking take you out. Don't fuck around. All right, Sharpie, let's do what we do best. Let's fucking talk about baseball. Let's talk about props. I can definitely say on this video with you here that we are two people that very much focus on the props. Not many people do what we do. They do this thing called DFS, but we ball out with our fucking cocks out. We get our fluids extracted, and of course, chicken tenders taste better with honey, motherfuckers. Put that sweet and sour, put that barbecue, and you better put that fucking terrible honey mustard in the fucking garbage where it belongs. All right, let's get into the games. No more fucking around. So, Sharpie, let's talk first about this Arizona Los Angeles Angel game. Obviously, with Ohtani cashing for you last night, beautiful fucking casher. How are you looking at this pitching matchup today?
Alex Cobb and Smith. Angels struggle versus lefties, so I'm off this game particularly on K props, but I could see lots of runs even though the Angels haven't been hitting lefties lately. This isn't a number 1 lefty. This is a number 5 lefty.
And I agree with you. I think that there definitely is some value on the Angels and the Angel hitters. When I look at some of the Angel hitters, I look at Justin Upton, who is on a hitting streak right now of close to 10 games. He's hitting .348 this week. 6 out of those hits, 6 out of his 8 hits have been extra base hits, and he scored 9 runs. Ohtani, obviously, he's a go for. And then I think that the biggest off-the-radar type guy is going to be Max Stassi. You know, he's hitting .267 versus lefties, which is all right, but he's hitting .500 in his games and appearances this week. 5 out of 9 were extra base hits, and he scored 8 runs. Got to be looking at that part of the lineup with how hard they're hitting the ball.
Hey, Max, your buddy Max Stassi, seen him one time, and he's took him yard.
Well, that makes it even better. I think that on the Arizona side, there is a couple guys that you definitely want to keep your eye out for. Pavin Smith, the rookie, he's just been hitting and lacing singles. You know, he did hit 1 double, I think it was the other day. But 5 out of 6 of his hits have been singles, .353 the last 7 days. There's a bunch of guys that do hit right-handers for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that's Ketel Marte. That is Josh Reddick, and that is what's his name? Fuck. Pass on that. I'll back off on that. Just Marte and Reddick are the good guys versus right-handed pitchers.
Reddick has seen him 3 times. He's got 0 hits. Marte hasn't seen him yet. So very small sample sizes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Okay, so let's move on to Atlanta and Miami. I think that for Atlanta, obviously a lot of people want to be looking at Acuna. They want to be looking at Ozzy Albies. I didn't really look too hard at this. The only spot that I really thought had a lot of value was with Contreras. He's hitting in that 6 hole. He's able to freaking get some nice pitches from pitchers taking a break on him on his at bat, and he's hitting .375 this week. On the Miami side, though, that's where I see some more intrigue. First off, Sharpie, we know that Miami hitters have been able to get to Max Fried, Starling Marte, Jesus Aguilar, fucking Jazz Chisholm. And those are the guys that I'm looking at. They're the hottest hitters for the Marlins. They hit lefties. Jazz hits lefties 335. Marte hits him at 400. You know, I'm going to ride the guys that are freaking on hot streaks and hitting lots of singles and scoring runs.
I think we're both going to cash here, Max. I like you know, I rolled out of bed from Harpooning last night and didn't look at any K props, and one just jumped out the fucking Richter scale. And like you said, Miami does hit Fried well, but they also strike out at a 27% clip. So they're going to get their hits and runs, but they're also going to strike out 1 out of every 3 batters. So Fried's K prop is live today.
Absolutely. And with a first name like Max Sharpie, how can you not like him?
Max is going to pay you by getting hits and pay me by getting Ks. And he's going to get rocked, so he's going to be a butt-hurt little baby at the end of the game.
Well, it sounds like ladies of the night are going to be able to approve of this play. Let's do it. All right, let's move on. Over to.
Are you going to check the other side? Or no Braves batters?
No, just Contreras, but I'm going to leave Brave batters alone tonight.
Okay. Looks like Miami's going to do a bullpen day.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
All right, so let's have a look at that Toronto-Boston series. Obviously, this is a game that a lot of people that we respect are on the over already. After seeing the fireworks last night, you definitely expect the bats to continue to produce. The question is Boston going to be able to produce without Xander Bogaerts and against a lefty and Steven Matz that they've had some up and down success against? And is Vladimir Guerrero going to be able to go deep again? So, Sharpie, what are you thinking about in this game as far as pitcher-wise?
Pitcher-wise, I'm not going to be on. The Red Sox, they eat left-handed fucking pitchers for breakfast. Steven Matz, I don't give a fuck if he's on Toronto, Philadelphia, whatever. These guys over here on Boston eat lefties. Kiki Hernandez, my Dodger guy, okay? He platooned only for our team against lefties. We wouldn't even let him hit versus right-handed hitters. So he's a look for me on any type of a left-handed pitcher. JD Martinez eats lefties. Devers, you got a team that just smashes lefties here. This might be a nice little stack.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you also got to look a little deeper. You got to look at Christian Vasquez. If he's in the lineup, he's 4 for 5 with 2 home runs against Mats, 381 the last 7 days. 7 out of those 8 hits were singles. And then with Alex Verdugo, he's definitely been a very solid, capable 2-hitter in that hole. He's hitting 364. 4 out of 8 hits are extra base hits. He does hit only 221 versus lefties, but I can bypass that. I think that on the other side, the Jays, they love righties. They love eating up righties. Vladdy, that's what he's been doing. He's hitting 400. He has 2 home runs in the last 7 days. Joe Panic even, he's coming on real strong, so there's a real off-the-radar type move. And with Bo Bichette hitting those singles and scoring those runs, you can get a nice little trio right there with the Blue Jays.
I think we're getting good value on Kiki because they have him batting first today versus a lefty, so there's an extra at bat.
Absolutely. Kiki's been freaking fantastic when it comes to runs, singles, and over 1.5 base props. All right. Let's move on to Tampa Bay and Baltimore. So this is obviously a game that let me down yesterday, but I guess I deserved it. Mancini cashed a home run prop. That was quite nice. And I think that with this Tampa Bay-Baltimore game, I'm expecting runs again. I look at Cedric Mullins. He's one of the hottest hitters in the league, hitting 524 over the last week. He hits 299. versus righties. Versus lefties. And I just think that this Baltimore team eats up these lefties. Can they do it against Tampa Bay is another question. So this is a lineup that I could see myself stacking up on, but the main guy that I'd be trying to get with is Mancini and Cedric Mullins again. On the Tampa Bay side, it's not as fruitful, even though I do think that Tampa Bay has a good opportunity to score and get a lot of hits. Randy Arozarena and Yandy Diaz are the two guys that stick out the most. They're hitting a lot of singles, they're scoring a lot of runs, but they're 1-for-4 type guys. So not a ton of plus money value with them. Yet, I still think there's going to be a lot of runs. Sharpie, what are you thinking about when it comes to Tampa Bay and Baltimore?
We're talking about Dick fucking Mountain, guys. Rich Hill. This guy right here has been fucking money for the Rays since the Rays got him. That's like the last 4 or 5 games. They're not letting him go more than 4 innings, and they're not letting him see the lineup the third time through. It's smart. They play analytics really well over there in Tampa Bay, and they're just not going to set you up for fucking failure. Nobody has good stats versus Rich Hill, but they're all small sample size. This game's Orioles hit lefties, but Rich Hill's been good. What's going to give up? If you're going to play hitter props, I'd look towards the doubles or home runs because Rich Hill is a curveball thrower, and if he misses his spot, the curveball's going fucking out the yard.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to a game that should be a little more exciting, and that is the Yankees and the Phillies game. I've told you on many occasions I don't like betting on Philly hitters, so I basically just ignore them. On the Yankees side, it's hard to ignore what the Yankees did in Minnesota. The question is, can they carry that over to Philadelphia? When you look at Gleyber Torres, Gio Urshela, Mike Stanton, Miguel Andujar, even Gary Sanchez, all of them are hitting 300 or more. Urshela's on a 10 or 11 game hitting streak, hitting 429. 6 of those 9 hits are singles. And with Andujar, he's definitely hitting the best versus right-handers. So when I look at Vince Velasquez, I think that if he's not careful, doesn't locate those fastballs, these Yankee hitters are going to be able to take him over the yard. And Andujar, he's the best against righties at 321. So definitely a bunch of Yankees that I'm looking at. And of course, I blacklisted Philadelphia, so I don't know.
Last 2 games from Mr. Velasquez, he hasn't made it out the 4th inning, giving up 6 runs and 3 runs, respectively. The Phillies have a bottom 10 bullpen. This is a Yankee smash spot. Yankees eat. They win by 2-3 runs today, guys. Feel easily to put in any Yankee player and not worry. Velasquez in that bullpen is giving it up.
I like it. That makes me feel good because I like Yankee hitters, you know. And
you should like them today.
Shout out to our Pub Sports Radio resident Yankee supporter, Mills.
Millie Mills
loves his Yankees. I like his Yankees when they're not playing my Blue Jays. But when they're playing my Blue Jays, yep, I want those Yankees to slurp cock soup. So let's move on to Kansas City and Oakland, Sharpie. And this is going to be a short one for me. Salvador Perez and Andrew Benintendi on the Kansas City side are the only 2 that I would even consider. I'm not liking how this team is hitting, and they just got a bunch of hits last night, so it makes me not like them even more. And with Oakland, you know, there really isn't anybody that pops out on the numbers. You really just have to ride guys like Mark Canha and Olsen to get home runs. You got to rely on Tony Kemp and Elvis Andrus to get singles. And then you got to figure out what you can do with guys like Jed Lowry and Chapman and Pinder and company. But nothing really standing out a ton to me with Oakland. But maybe I find my way onto Jed Lowry, who has hit 368, and 6 out of those 7 hits were singles. So maybe a little value there.
Like we're shouting people out, I got to shout out Brotato because he put me onto this Caprillion kid a couple weeks back. Caprillion's a former first-round pick that didn't make it with Kansas City. So guess what? He's going back up against his old team today that drafted him in the first round. And he's been fucking lights out for the Athletics, guys. One game he got touched up. He went up against the same team 2 weeks in a row. That happens to young kids, guys. When you face the same team in a fucking 5-day period, you're going to get fucking hit that second time around. His last game was in Colorado, so it was a little bit shaky, but that's at Colorado. He only gave up 2 runs with 4 strikeouts. Today, they jumped his strikeouts up to 5.5. It's at plus money. I'm going to do a little more digging into that one because he is a guy that I like to back.
All right. I like the situational spot for Caprillion. Let's move on to a game that is definitely going to be heavy on my card, and I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on it. Is Colorado and Cincinnati. Plain and simply, we know, I've heard it out of your mouth, Colorado is a top 5 left-handed hitting team. There is 6 or 7 options for Colorado. The 2 most exciting ones, obviously, are Ramil Tapia and Charlie Blackman. And then with a little side of Brendan Rodgers, who's had 3 out of 7 hits be home runs in the last week, hitting 467. Charlie Blackman is a singles machine. 8 out of 9 have been singles. And Tapia, 7 singles and 3 doubles in his 10 hits. So they're at the top of the lineup. They're getting at bats. Rodgers is taking advantage of playing in Cincinnati. And then, of course, on the Cincinnati side, Sharpie, Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos, those guys are freaking an everyday type thing. And then I think that the one guy off the radar is Tyler Stevenson. 3 out of 4 hits have been extra base hits so far. He's lost some at-bats to Joey Votto, but he's hitting 308, and he's an exciting guy. He's got to get hits more than ever right now. What are you thinking about pitcher-wise? What are you thinking about this game?
Like we were breaking it down before this show with Paul, I see lots of runs. Like you said, Winker and Castellanos, they showed me how to fuck with my eyes open. Those are real deal MLB hitters right there. The one hitter I am looking at is Elias Diaz. He's batting 400 plus versus Miley. You've got the Reds for top 5 OPS versus right-handed pitchers going up against Marquez, and then you've got the Rockies for top 5 OPS versus left-handed pitchers going up against Wade Miley. Wade Miley has a 2.93 ERA, but it's not really a 2.93 ERA. He's gone up against 3 or 4 teams that just can't put the ball in play versus a lefty pitcher. Rockies don't have that problem at home. They have that problem on the road, but we're in Colorado here where we got the bottom 5 bullpens on both sides and 2 teams that just rake. This should be a hitting day.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Hope that it is, because I plan on stacking both of them.
Mind you, on every bet today is Sunday, right? Or it's Saturday. Cool.
Yeah, it's
just
Saturday.
woke up. Moving days are terrible. You got to be careful on moving days.
Absolutely. All right, let's run a little New York Mets, San Diego. I'll be brief. San Diego, it's Tatis or nothing for me. Even though Hae-Sung Kim is hitting 375. On the Mets side, there are a bunch of different options, whether it be Pete Alonso, whether it be James McCann, whether it be John Villar. But nothing's really popping out to me that I have to play because none of them are 300 hitters except for McKinney versus the side of the pitcher.
Dude, there's lots of big. Eric Hosmer's hitting 385 with 13 at bats versus Stroman. That's a nice little spot right there. I know last week these 2 pitchers just faced off versus these same teams, and I took Stroman first 5 and I cashed that ticket. Musgrove, I believe he had 9 strikeouts through 5 innings versus DeGrom last week, and he fell apart. He was going heads up against DeGrom. He couldn't hang. Today it's Stroman. I've got to do some digging into Musgrove to see how he does on back-to-back pitching, because I usually don't like to run a K prop if they're facing the same team again, because that's just historically you're going to lose 70% of the time, and you don't want to play the lotto when we're gambling. We want to fucking win. So I stay off of shit like that. So anybody looking at Musgrove, take that into account that he just faced this team 5 days ago.
Absolutely, and we've seen how pitchers sometimes have a much tougher time with batters swinging on the first or second pitch.
Yeah, they don't want to strike out the second time. They're MLB hitters. They're not going to sit there and give you 11 strikeouts like you got last week versus them.
All right, let's move on to a game that I know that you're going to want to talk about, and that is the Cleveland-Seattle game. So obviously with Seattle, they have Kikuchi on the mound. And with Cleveland, you know, they are an underrated team when it comes to hitting those lefties. I think that when you look at it, the numbers aren't fantastic, but they do have a couple gems. Bobby Bradley, he's hitting .462 with 6 hits and 4 of them being extra base hits. This week, Ahmad Rosario, .451, 8 out of 10 hits are singles. So there is definitely some value when it comes to this Cleveland lineup. Question is it going to be hits and strikeouts, or is it going to be just strikeouts? So, Sharpie, what do you think about this game?
I was looking at Kikuchi as my K prop for the day, and then when I started digging into the stats, like you said, the Indians are doing a lot better versus lefties than what they were at the beginning of the year, especially this last 3 weeks. They've been actually hitting the ball really, really well. So 5.5 at plus 117. I am taking a big look into it, and I'll tweet it out if I am on it. But I'm fighting with myself on that game. They haven't seen Kikuchi before, which is always a plus to the pitcher. First time around, you know, you don't know what he has, and this guy's got 4 different pitches, so it's going to take 2 or 3 times through the lineup before they get to know what, like, okay, this is what he's going to throw me. So I'm looking at his K prop, but the Indians' bats as of late are hot.
All right, well. It's going to be interesting to see. I think that the Indians put together some hits. I'm just not sure if they are able to get the key hit to bring them in. And we have seen them be a very light hitting team. So it will be quite interesting to see. I will end up most likely on 4 or 5 Indians, but Bobby Bradley is the guy that I am most interested in. That is 100%. Moving on to Detroit and Chicago, I have nothing on this game. I would take a shot with Jonathan Schoop and Miguel Cabrera just because of recent form, but nothing is popping out for me on Detroit and Chicago.
Oh, dude, how are you not wanting to play any White Sox batters versus Arena and that Detroit bullpen? That's got to take some strength to lay off, because you've got a number 5 pitcher that really doesn't belong in the league anymore. Arena's been kicked off of 3, 4, 5 different teams. He's only on this team because they don't fucking care. Detroit's not there to win. They're just pumping out players just to get 162 games in.
I just don't have the numbers that support it. You know, we have Tim Anderson with a 3 for 5 success rate, but just
that's not enough
sample size to justify it.
But do you need a sample size versus a number 5, and they're a number 1 hitter?
No, I don't. But I'd like to see an at bat first.
Okay.
And that's why live betting on Bet365 for MLB hitter props is so valuable. Because remember, once that player who was like a minus 150 over half a single goes 0 for 1, that price turns to plus 120. So you're getting value if you can watch and be patient, especially with some teams. All right, let's move over to Pittsburgh and Milwaukee. This is a spot where I have 2 guys that I go to over and over again. Adam Frazier, who I'll go to with singles, doubles, and to score a run. And then Ke'Bryan Hayes, who is on a hitting streak, hitting .280, 3 out of 7 extra base hits, .276 versus righties. And I think that both these guys can get to Corbin Burns today. On the Milwaukee side, I only like Dan Vogelbach and Willie Adames. Aside from that, I don't have much on this game either.
What was your two Pittsburgh players you like to play? Frazier and who?
Brian Hayes.
Okay, Hayes is a rookie, so hasn't seen him yet. Frazier is only 1 for 9 versus Corbin Burns. Just a heads up.
Yes,
Corbin Burns is a legit Cy Young contender. He is on the top spin rate for fastballs. That is one thing I do have him under.
I will say this, though, Sharpie. When Adam Frazier doesn't get a hit the night before, he does come back and he puts the ball and gets on base. So
I might be putting my theory to test today, guys. I think the Pittsburgh Pirates might get to Burns. His last few games have all been at home, and I think the cameras do the home team justice and allow their team to cheat. He's going to be on the road today.
Yeah.
I would maybe look at playing Corbin Burns K-props under. And if you look at Pittsburgh Pirates, they're not a team who strikes out a lot, actually. They're on the bottom 10 versus strikeouts. They put the ball in play whether they get out or not. They're a good little baseball team.
All right, well, let's move on to a big rival of those Milwaukee Brewers, the Cubs, the Cardinals. Very interesting game for me personally. I think that there's some value with Jock Peterson. I think that there's some value with Patrick Wisdom. I also think that if you think that guys that go 0-4 the day before come back and have a better day, Chris Bryant and Javi Baez fall into that category. But my main interest is with the St. Louis hitters. Arenado, 500 the last 7 days, 8 out of 10 of those hits. War singles, Goldie, 350, 5 out of 7 singles. O'Neill, 368, 5 out of 7 extra base hits. And even Matt Carpenter, 385 with 5 hits. So I think that these are admirable numbers that they're going up against. I think that with Arenado and Goldschmidt having career success versus Hendricks, this is a right-handed pitcher that they know and can hit. I think Arenado could hit his 3rd home run today.
I think I just came in my pants looking at these career hitter-batter numbers with Arenado and Goldschmidt. Holy crap, they own Hendricks. But like we were talking about this morning, if the Cubs get to their back 3 bullpen, there ain't no hits coming. So when you're playing these St. Louis hitters today, you're playing them for 6.
Yes, absolutely. I witnessed that, and I was in amazement that they added on to the last 33 innings, the 7, 8, 9 reliever. I don't know their names. Tepera, Kimbrel, and someone else, Sharpie. They haven't let in a run. So it is kind of crazy.
And another thing to support runs on the Cubs side today is Gant has been unfucking believable this year, and everybody's been trying to fade him. His FIP doesn't match his ERA, da-da-da-da-da. He's actually got the lowest rated average versus his changeup. People are batting at 0.93 versus his changeup this year. Well, guess what? Last week, in all the midst of this cheating scandal, Gant got fucking rocked. Gant got blown up like he was the normal Gant he's been his whole fucking life. So coming into this game again, I could see it happening again, guys. Like, I could see runs both sides. We need to check the wind at Wrigley because if the wind's blowing in, runs are hard to come by no matter who's fucking pitching.
Yeah, I think it's only 5 miles.
That 5 miles is, dude, it's stupid in Wrigley, bro. It'll change a total from 7 to 9.5 if it's in to out at that stadium.
All right. Well, let's move on to the second last game, and that is Minnesota and Houston. For me, obviously, with the way that Nelson Cruz and Miguel Sano been hammering extra base hits, doubles and home runs is the most fruitful way to go. And if you're looking for something off the radar, Nick Gordon, 5 hits in the last week, 364. Alex Kirilloff back from the IL, hitting 389 with 6 out of 7 hits being singles. Nick Gordon's the most impressive probably, and you're probably getting the best value with him. But it's hard to deny that Sano, who's hitting 320 over the last 7 days, when regularly he's like a 180 hitter, definitely seeing the ball well. I think with Houston, you can pick your poison. Michael Brantley, Kyle Tucker, Jordan Alvarez, Yuli Gurriel. All of them are hitting singles, hitting extra base hits, hitting for high averages, destroying lefties and righties. And if you want to go with my usual, we just go with Jose Altuve, Jose Altuve to hit a single, over 1.5 bases, over half a run, over half a home.
Hey, Altuve has really good batter hitting stats versus this pitcher too, but I'm sure you already know that because that's your fucking ace deuce right there. Him and Max Buck and Muncy.
Damn fucking straight. Those were my guys.
Just breaking into this game right now as you were talking, and I'm going to go take the Houston Astros to win this game by -1.5 runs, guys. This kid on the mound for Houston, the last 3 games, he hasn't allowed more than 1 run in each game, and that's versus the Dodgers, Boston, and Toronto, all who fucking eat right-handers, guys. And this guy's holding them to 1 fucking run, 3 hits? Nah, dude. This is an Astro smash spot here for me.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I like the Astros. I like Michael Brantley the most. Since he's come off the IL, he has had 8 hits in, I believe, 3 games. Yesterday, he had 3 hits. So I think that he's going to keep on hammering the ball. The books know it because they're fucking pricing them to the point that you don't want to bet them, but won't stop me. I'll keep on hitting that shit. And
you know what might be a good look is to hopefully he goes 0 for 1 on his first and live bet it, like you said, at a better number.
Absolutely. That's key on Bet365. All right, let's move on to the last game, a game that obviously is close to Sharpie's heart. His Los Angeles Dodgers, who are coming off an absolute thrashing, a fucking assault of the body on the Texas Rangers last night. I think they may do it again. So
I think they're going to do it again. And just like Kershaw last night, Kershaw had his 9 strikeouts, guys. Kershaw's on that top list of spin rate. Bauer's on that top list of spin rate. Bauer was really bad last time out. We're at home now, guys. This is my theory of being able to cheat at home and not being able to cheat on the road. Bauer is going to come out like Cole did and have a fucking lights out performance after being accused of cheating and having a bad game. Expect another smash spot from the Dodgers.
There's a multitude of Dodger hitters. Justin Turner, fucking 4 extra base hits out of his last 8 in the last six games. AJ Pollock, everybody forgets about him, but he's just Mr. Dependable, fucking slapping base hits all around the place. And we saw him hit a home run last night. Big boy Albert Pujols, he's still got some juice in those batteries left, and he's fucking with his eyes open. So I think there's a lot of value with this goddamn fucking Dodger team. And even if my boy Max Muncy's getting pulled and fucking hitting 250 the last week, I don't give a shit. I'll be right back on Maxie boy, fucking ready to cash. So, and obviously with Texas, Sharpie, Isaiah Kinner-Falefa over half a single. That's my go-to play.
Man, the only hitter-batter stats that the Dodgers have versus Allard is your boy Big Albert Pujols, baby, because he was an angel and got to face these Texas Rangers on a regular basis. It's only 5 at-bats, but he's got 3 hits and a bomb. So if Pujols is in good form, like you said, he already likes this pitcher, bro. So this could be a Pujols spot. This could be Big Daddy Pujols.
Well, I think that he probably got the start after hitting the home run yesterday. But if they're going to platoon him and only give them 2 at-bats each, it's going to really take them off the board as far as being a viable freaking prop because you're losing those at-bats. I hope that Dave Roberts isn't doing it. I know that he's your manager, but he is an idiot.
He's trash, bro. He's a trash manager.
I rest my case. You know,
He is, bro. On a top 10 team, he's the worst manager of any top 10 baseball team. He makes dumbass, boneheaded decisions. Let's take Urias out the game at 83 pitches, up 5-1, and then lose the fucking game. Yeah, good job, coach.
Yeah, that would qualify. That would qualify. All right. Well, on that note, let's freaking shut this shit down because I need a bong hit. I need some microwave bacon, and I possibly need to eat a cupcake. So I have a best bet that I'm going to give out for this video, and that's Alex Bregman, that cheating scumbag that you just want to punch in the face with a bag full of fucking rocks. Over 1.5 bases plus 110. 5 for 71 lifetime with a homer. And I just think that he's going to be able to put some wood on that ball today, and it won't be his hard dick. Ball back.
I like it, guys. I don't have a K-prop yet, guys, because I don't want to force a play just to force a play. I am looking at a few, and I'll dig a couple more into it, but I'm not going to give out a play if I don't put my own money on it, guys. Sorry, I'm just not that type of guy.
Yeah, and thank God I got a lot of money because I have a lot of plays that I need to bet, and I'm not trying to be betting chicken tender money on it. So.
I need to eat.
I need to actually eat. All right. Well, let's fucking shut this show down with what I do best. Let's fucking microwave bacon this up, and we'll see you next time. Keep your fucking flap closed. Keep your rubbers at home in your drawer and not in your pocket. Free the beast. Free the beast.
BBWs need love too.
That's right. Harpy, Sharpie, the Harpooner. It's a new nickname. It's going to pick up. It's going to take on. Let's fucking dab it up. Let's bong it up. 30-second countdown. Microwave bacon time.